Nancy, recorder's on.
1 second. It's on.
Okay, you set to go? Welcome everybody. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Council of the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone. It is December 19th, 2023 at 7:04 p.m. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Nancy, would you read the sunshine law?
Pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Act, adequate notice of the 2023 meeting dates was published in the Courier News and Burnsville News on December 8th, 2022, and posted at the Municipal Complex and the Borough Library. Action may be taken.
Great, would everyone please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you haven't done so already, please silence your cell phones to start these proceedings. Nancy, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Here.
Councilman Lemon.
Here.
Councilman Portello.
Here.
Council President Sweeney.
Here.
Councilwoman Weibel.
Here.
Mayor Corleone.
Here. And let the record show that the two elect council members are with us. Let's start out with public comments on non-agenda items. 5 minutes per person, please. I would ask you to come up to the microphone, name and address, and then state your issue to the council.
Thank you. I want to make sure this wasn't an agenda item. My name is Donna Bruton, and I live at 3 Willow Avenue in Peapack, a resident for nearly 40 years now. We raised our kids and all. Anyway, I'm here only because I want to personally thank Amy Dietrich and Don Lemma, who I know this is their last meeting, and just a plain old citizen who's slightly active, not very much so, but compared to you folks up there. But I do want to thank Amy's been on our historic commission as our council representative, but such an asset. And then she promises she's going to stick with it, which is wonderful. And Don has just done a fabulous job picking up the pieces on the park and making it functional. We were there for the pet parade last week, even in the pouring rain. We were there for the Santa. I mean, everything has just come together. The light, I hear so many good things. So anyway, to the two of you, thank you so much. And if you ever choose to get involved again, I'll help you. Open signs out or something, yeah. Thank you very much. You both have just been so valuable. Thank you.
Donna, very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
We would like to invite you to our reorg meeting on January 2nd, Tuesday night. Don and Amy will be taking their seats, and then they'll turn them over to the new council members.
Oh, so this isn't even really there.
We'll have a little ceremony.
Okay.
Okay, and maybe some cake afterwards.
So cake, I like cake. So were my comments premature?
No,
okay.
Not at all.
Compliments are always welcome.
Yeah.
Good news is always welcome.
January 2nd, okay, great, thank you.
Thank you, Donna.
Anybody else wish to address the council on a non-agenda item? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the business. Let's move on to old business. The TNR, our truck neuter and release program. Jill, did you have something you want to say about that?
Yeah, I do. We are fortunate enough to have private citizens that are going to start trapping and releasing on their own dime cats in the community. We have several cat colonies in town, and we have people that are feeding these cats. And the cat colonies, you can imagine, people are feeding cats, more cats come, and more cats come, they breed. And then it becomes a major problem. The really only way to solve this problem is if you stop them from reproducing. And so we passed an ordinance that also would, that prohibits the feeding of wild animals. There's a little bit of a conflict here because the people that are interested in doing this, the private citizens who are actively, very, very enthusiastic and have the funding, by the way, that want to do this. The problem is that, there's some wording in the ordinance that may contradict them. These, also they're using, shelters, or, not shelters, but, that's and other discounted, services that are against the total not feeding of animals, because they feel like, so there's some little bit of conflict there, but they're gonna start doing this and start this, process of trapping and releasing.
They're concerned about the policy that
Yeah,
we set.
they are, they want some, they want a tweak, right?
But they want to allow the feeding of the cats?
No, it's not necessarily, they wanna allow maybe the caring of a colony once it's, once they are spayed and neutered. They're not just left on their own just to defend on their own. So there's a little bit of conflict there. However, they want to start doing this now, and in lieu of that, it's not stopping them. So they're going out there. Another thing that they want to do, and another little conflict, is they want us to promote them somehow. One of the citizens will match. If she gets donations through her own means, she'll match. If anyone gives them a donation, she'll match it with her own private fund. So this could really help our town. I consider them almost like angels if they're going out there, and they're full force, ready to go. They're going to start on West. They've already started, I believe, and they want to help all these different cat colonies and research into it and really do this. So, if there's a way that somehow the town could help fund it, or at least help promote it, or if not, they're doing this. So they've already started.
A question for you, John.
Yeah.
As part of the ordinance, we're trying to not feed wildlife in order to not promote them to continue to come and raise and defecate and spread and
Right.
what the complaints have been. By fostering, not fostering, or maybe not the right word, but by making these tweaks, if you will, to help the colonies, isn't that sort of maintaining the problem at hand?
Here's the thing: we're having an issue right now with enforcing that ordinance. And I know Nancy, maybe I can go through into this, but can you speak to the enforcement of that is proving to be a bit difficult?
My understanding is that there's this gray area where if they've been feeding the cats and you take that away, that could actually be cruel to the animals, and that creates a problem with any of the enforcement.
I think that's what you're saying, John, is part of what this group is concerned.
Is that what it is?
That's part of the problem. Part of the problem is that the people, when you go to speak to them, they claim that they're their cats, but they are outdoor cats.
Licensing requirement.
Well, we don't have a license requirement for
We don't
cats
have
here.
cats, I know.
So that is where the problem is. So we have in the coming year, in the new year, to have further discussion on this. Not that people are going to be lining up to pay a licensing fee for cats, but if we have that money could supplement the program.
That's the thought, and Bernard's has a similar program, and that's how they help supplement the program through cat licensing. So there's a lot of.
What I would. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I just echo Eric's comments about maintaining the colony. We're not reducing any numbers if we're maintaining the colony, and
they're claiming them as their pets, in some instances, and the colony would eventually just diminish because it would no longer be reproducing with this. But it has to be that, and with trap and release, there's a breeding season that comes up. There's a whole thing. They have to put out 20 or 30 traps at once because the cats are smart. And if you trap them, you spay and neuter them, you can't just go back the next day or the next day. They kind of figure out there's traps. So there's a whole.
Do they release them in the same area where they caught? So they go back to their families.
Yeah. But it's like an all-in thing. Like you got at least if they, and also these colonies. There's 20 cats there. There's always at least 35 cats. I mean, and they have it down. The woman who's doing this has been doing this for years. She goes to other countries and helps. She goes to one thing. We only have one breeding season here. You go down to somewhere warmer, like Florida. They have 3 breeding seasons. So we're kind of blessed. We don't have as much of a problem as some other areas. But these are all in people that are all in. They're passionate. They're doing this even though they don't agree with our ordinance. But there might be some kind of gray area filtering changes that we may want to propose.
I think we'll need to revisit, to John's point, licensing then, to have some enforcement, some applicability for this, for the intended nature that we put this in place to begin with.
Yeah.
The reason when we started on this issue back in the summer, the reason we did not go with licensing is because we realized that, like any other town who requires licensing of a cat, you get very low compliance. So very few people could license their cat and register it and get a tag.
I understand that, but it would help the enforcement.
Let me finish. So the idea was to try to put an ordinance in place that gives us some ability to enforce. And if that ordinance was proved not to be able to work well, then we would take step B, which would be considered licensing.
Okay.
Jill, here's what I would say to you in answer to all this. The group that wants to do this with their ideas about whatever it might be, colonies or feeding or licensing or endorsement, like any other organization, they have to come to the borough with a proposal. Okay? They'd have to come to the council with a proposal, no? You know, and what they want, and the council can say no.
Now, as private citizens, they're able to do this.
No, but they're looking for the borough to back what they're doing.
Oh, yes, that
They
would have to come to the borough, right.
Okay? As private citizens, they can go out and do as they will with the cats.
And that's what
But
they're
if they're
doing
looking
now.
for borough support or borough endorsement, they would have to come before us.
Right, and that's what
Now,
I did say.
Do we need to
now,
form
one
a
thing-
committee, a formal committee, so we can fund it? Because we generally don't give,
They're not
If
asking
we
us
don't give tax
necessarily
revenue
fund
to
it,
private
they
citizens.
were asking us kind of how we
They
could,
want us to promote
Promote
it,
it.
and I told them that we cannot promote it.
You know, typically the borough does not endorse organizations,
yeah.
okay? So that's a difficult.
Other
thing to
municipalities
address.
do have like a trap and release committee or something where it's not necessarily just helping this one. There could be hey, if we have anyone out there wants to volunteer, be a private citizen and do this, the more people we have like this, it doesn't just mean this one group, the better off. I mean, and the generosity of the one individual who's gonna match donations, I think it's worthy of promotion, whether she promotes it, there's other ways of promoting it, not going through your municipality. She's toying with that and trying to get the word out there, and she could just put it on next door or do whatever. But they came to us looking for some sort of borough support. And borough support, not necessarily financial, not taking taxpayers' dollars, not all taxpayers would agree with us, but necessarily. But if it was funded by a licensing of cats or some other means, there could be something. There's synergy there. It's the beginning of something, and I think we should be thankful for private citizens that want to do good. And let's see how this goes.
I think the money issue, I look at and just say, it was presented very much as a Board of Health issue. So spending money on the overall health of the town I think is a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, right
and
now we're spending money.
We're not eliminating the cats.
There's some mechanism that exists in another town
Yeah.
that allows them to do something like that, we're open to hearing about it.
Okay.
We're very open to hearing about it.
There's several other municipalities, samples that we could use, So it's a start of something, and I think it could go, I mean, really the ultimate thing is like to have no breeding wild cats in our community. Ultimately, let's just stop breeding and the colonies will
If it
diminish.
reduces, long term, it reduces the numbers, even the people that are feeding them would have some sense of relief.
Mm-hmm.
Their colony's not growing, so to speak.
It's a win-win, as been brought up to me, it's a win-win for animal lovers and people that don't really care for these wild cats, because the animal lovers are getting their cats, taken care of, right? And the ones that don't really want these populations that don't like animals, well, then the populations will diminish. So
This is a challenging issue.
very challenging, extremely challenging. But I'm grateful and thankful that these private citizens came forward. They let us know about it. They're doing this, and let's just see where this goes. But it's going to be something that morphs, and how the town gets involved. This will be coming up again.
Like I said, I would reach out and say, listen, the council is interested in what you have to say. If you're looking for the town to get involved in some way, give us a proposal in writing, and we will fairly and objectively review it. Okay, let's move on. Any other old business from the council member?
Just one item there, speaking back to roads in regards to Overlook Ave and looking at an ordinance for weight limitation on that road, we agreed at the last, or a couple of meetings ago, that there's an existing ordinance in place with a couple of roads on there now, we could simply add Overlook to that. Before, deciding on that, I spoke with Chief Ferrante to understand if there were any other roads that might benefit from this. The only one he suggested potentially was Jackson Ave, although I feel, parts of Jackson, going to Old Chester and going to Mendham, it's kind of difficult.
They gotta have some way to get through.
Correct. So, the consensus was yes, that we could add Overlook to the ordinance. I didn't realize, Borough Attorney John Brewer would be here this evening. He had that ordinance.
Nothing about Dewey though?
Not on Dewey, no. Plus, I mean to mention it's wider there with fire engines going down the road. So, can't really have a good argument for that one. But, on the following the reorg meeting, if we can add an ordinance to add Overlook Ave to the ordinance.
Okay. I don't want this to get lost next year. So I'm gonna ask you to hold on to that, when our new attorney takes his seat here, next year.
Sure.
That would be one of the first issues that I ask you to hand it over to him. If you are not roads next year, I would ask you to marshal or shepherd that to the next person.
Absolutely.
Okay? And that would be a good starter for them to get that ordinance, revision, rewritten, and proposed, not on the agenda.
Okay.
Right, good work on that.
Thank you.
That would be nice to see it. Any other, okay, and no other further old business, correct? Any new business?
Just one thing there. The chief asked me to discuss this with the council to see if there was a consensus. So the chief expressed, chief, please. The chief expressed a interest in using a company called EDS to schedule the special jobs that the police do with traffic control and so forth. So apparently EDS is used by several other departments. They collect a database and then prioritize the call out for the officers for these special duty assignments in the priority order that the chief recommends, which would be based on seniority and so forth. So the advantage to the police department is it frees up some time with scheduling because EDS takes that. The downside is that EDS charges an 8% fee, but it's charged to the company that's requesting the officers to direct traffic, such as New Jersey Natural Gas and Verizon. It comes to $10.80 an hour based on the current call-out rate. So I just wanted to see if there are any questions and if there's a consensus one way or the other. I have no strong opinions about this. It would be month to month. If we decided to go forward, we would cancel it at any time.
How is it being done currently?
So what happens is a call comes in, Sergeant Scanlon controls the schedule, and he takes care of the prioritization, posts it, arranges for the people to do the coverage. The question I had, and the chief assured me this wouldn't be a problem, is we have special rules that if an officer works so many hours, he can't take a off-duty special assignment because there's a minimum amount of sleep that he has to get, and supposedly they can handle that. The other advantage to the officers is once they're in the EDS system, they can get called out for more potential road jobs from other departments when there is no one available. So,
would they still be able to manage that sleep regulation?
So the chief assures, well, so it would only be EDS making the call out. The chief assures me that they would. I don't know the mechanics of how he's going to get the schedules to them every week and how much time are we really saving. So
my next question would be how much time is Sergeant Scanlon spending on this, and does it really free them up to do other things? If it's not costing us any money, it's one thing we potentially lose out on an incremental cost to the end user.
Yeah, so that's the road. I believe it will free up some time, but if you had a business in town that wanted traffic control for the church or whatever, they're going to be paying $10.80 an hour more for the officers than they're paying now, getting essentially the same service.
Don, I would tell you it's not so simple. And the reason is the reason the charge for the borough providing service ultimately is set by ordinance. So this company just can't go charge 8% on top of what we charge, unless it's stated in the ordinance.
Right. I guess that's a
It will require an ordinance change to affect this.
Okay. All right, so let me ask this. I won't be on the council next year when this will be addressed, but is there an appetite for this to be pursued? Because I want to give some feedback to the chief after this meeting to let him know what he thought.
If we're only locked in on a month-to-month basis, I'd give it a shot.
Also, we had an administrative employee in the department, so I thought she was handling the good job. I would wonder if it's taking away from her time and how is that time reutilized in the department?
I would guess that there was more work than there was available time, but that's just a guess.
Okay, just keep in mind we're paying someone to do that administrative resource.
Amongst other things too.
Yes,
I
right.
would say that you just can't do this,
Okay.
unless you're gonna build that fee into the ordinance.
Right. So, I mean, if there was consensus to look at it, we would have to look at an ordinance change, have to have public hearings, and if it didn't work out, we'd have to change the ordinance back.
That's right. Well, you got notice and they're voted in.
Yeah, that's
Would Sergeant Scanlon be, I mean, he's an MBA, I know he likes to put it to use. Would he be able to put together a return analysis on this?
That's an excellent question. So I did not speak with the sergeant directly. This came right from the chief, and the chief's been sick for the last couple of days, so I haven't spent as much time with him as I would have liked to. Why don't I pose that question to him, and then the new council can debate this in early January.
I would just love to see if the effort is worth the screws. That's all.
I think it's simpler than that. The benefit is very simply that the existing administration has more time because they're not managing all duty work. You know, what is that worth? You can say it's worth 5 hours a week, you can say it's worth 1 hour a week, it's subjective. You know, do we want an outside firm managing this?
It's a valid question to ask.
Remember, it's still being paid through our payroll.
Oh,
It's not like they're handling the payroll. So it's still a burden on our finance side. We're still paying for workman's comp on it. We're still paying for the social security match on it. You know, now we do charge a fee to cover that stuff, which we would still get, but it's not like the whole process is being taken out of our building.
No, I get that. I just think before we potentially change an ordinance, experiment, find a discovery, go back to change an ordinance, why don't we just see, is this something that may save 10 hours a week, or are we talking a half hour, just to get an idea.
Even see what the experience has been with some of our neighbors.
As my last act on the police committee, I don't request that analysis.
Okay, thank you.
Jill, did you have any thoughts?
I think an analysis is well warranted, and also the analysis on how many off hours requests there are. That could be part of it, which is just look at the whole thing.
Okay.
And I feel also changing an ordinance, testing, it's a lot of, that's very cumbersome, and I don't know, it's a lot.
All right, I'll follow up on it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Don. Anybody else with new business? Miscellaneous discussions. We probably covered everything, but do you have any miscellaneous discussions, council members? Seeing none, let's go on to reading approval of minutes. Minutes of December 5th, 2023. A motion and second to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All right, John and Jill, roll call please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lama.
Abstain.
Councilman Portello.
Abstain.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weigel.
Aye.
Okay, very good. Let's move on to ordinances. We have quite a number of them tonight. So we'll ask you to bear with us for your patience. Let's start with 11/29/2023. Bond ordinance providing for the acquisition of a fire truck by the borough, appropriating $1 million and authorizing the issuance of $950,000 in bonds or notes to finance part of the cost. May I have a motion and second to open the public hearing for the bond ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lama.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weigel.
Aye.
Okay, well, anybody of our guests here wish to make a comment on this ordinance? Seeing none, I'd like to close the public portion, the public hearing for this bond ordinance. A motion and second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wyble.
Aye.
Okay, now may I have a motion, a second, to adopt bond ordinance 1129-2023?
So moved.
Second.
When you're ready, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wyble.
Aye.
Bond ordinance 1129-2023 is adopted and shall be published by title only in the Burnsville News in accordance with the law. Moving on. Ordinance 1130-2023. This is an ordinance appropriating certain monies held by the borough for the acquisition of a fire truck for the borough's fire department in the amount of $50,000. May I have a motion, second, to open the public hearing for ordinance 1130-2023?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wyble.
Aye.
Okay, we are now open for public comment. Does anybody in the public wish to comment on this ordinance? Seeing none, a motion is second to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call when you
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wyble.
Aye.
Okay, and now lastly, a motion is second to adopt ordinance 1130-2023. Motion is second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call when you can, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wyble.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Ordinance 1130-2023 is adopted and shall be posted by title only in the Burnsville News in accordance with the law. Moving on. Ordinance 1131-2023, amending Chapter 2, Section 2-43 of the Municipal Code of the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone by creating the Environmental and Shade Tree Commission.
Mayor, just a comment, the ordinance is 1131-23. I don't know, 2023.
It's a mistake in the agenda.
Okay.
But thank you. Motion and second to open public hearing. Very good. Roll call, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wyble.
Aye.
Okay, would anybody from the public would like to comment on this ordinance? Microphone, name and address, please.
John Kepler, 25 Holland Avenue. It's my understanding that the combined shade tree and environmental will not affect the Shade Trees Commission's ability to get immunity under the Community Forestry Act. Is that correct?
It will not affect it, correct?
So I'd like to commend you on a creative solution, Mayor, Council, and John Bruder. It's been kind of a pain in the neck to have the two commissions, and same membership, but having separate budgets, everything else, it's laborious. So that's great move. I am concerned about the reduction in the membership. Currently we have 5 to 7 plus 2 alternates under the current ordinance. And this ordinance, you're reducing the membership to 5 plus 2. We look at this past year, we've had 8 members. Currently, if you count me, we have 6. I believe there are 2 in the wings, so that would be 8. So I'd like to ask the council to basically to amend it and make the membership the current rule, which is 5 to 7. And 5 are appointed, so be it, but really to do our work in the Environmental Commission, it's difficult with fewer members.
John, when we met a few days ago, I think I explained this to you, that the 7 members, the 5 and the 2, are not members, but rather commissioners. And they have to vote, and they have to file financial disclosures. The record of the Environmental Commission in the recent past has been very poor, with none of the commissioners filing financial disclosures. The borough absolutely is required to see that these be done. It does not preclude the Environmental and Shade Tree Commission from having additional, I'll call them members, on the commission. They just can't be commissioners. So if there's 5 and 2, you're with it, and there's 9 people, okay? The other 2 can be considered volunteers, members, consultants, however the chair wishes to designate them, and they can participate in your meetings. The only difference is that they can't vote, okay, and they don't have to file financial disclosure. So I do believe you get your full number of members that you'd like to have.
Well,
Although there's no such a thing as a member on the commission.
So I looked into the financial disclosure. I said myself I wouldn't have a problem with it. I figured I should poll the membership and ask them, if they had an objection to it, because obviously you're saying that we have to do it. We've never been asked to file this in the past, which is fine. I don't have a problem with it. I know Andrew Gooden in the audience here doesn't have a problem with it. But then I went to see, I really shouldn't ask people if they're willing to do this without knowing what it's about. So I looked it up. And
It's not terribly invasive.
No, it looked like a tooth extraction. But so one of the things I found out was that we're actually municipal environmental commission members are specifically not required to file an FDS.
I don't know where you saw that, but Nancy's.
There's actually a finding here opinions from the Attorney General. They call it 92-0071, and basically they determined that we're not local government officers. We're actually local government employees. They put it in quotes. Basically, we have to comply with ethics laws, which we've signed those agreements in the past. I haven't seen them in a while, but we're not officers, so we're not required to file
Let me double check on that, because I'm under the, I believe you, John, I'm not saying that, but I get a local finance notice every year telling me who has to and who doesn't have to. So let me just double check with that.
Okay. I do see in this memo here that like Rec Commission is an ag, county ag is required to file this. Plus land use board and everybody else. But
Brian, do you have any insight on this?
It's definitely something that we look into and double check on. I've never really come across the issue before, so.
If in fine, there's some finding that it would actually be best if you share that with Nancy. If there's a finding that in fact environmental commission members don't have to file financial disclosure, that'd be great. Because it's less onerous for us to manage.
Right.
Okay. Well, we need to look into that. Okay. As far as letting you know, I do know that Nancy sent a blanket email out to all of us, including the environmental commissioners last year, requesting it be done.
No, I had not done for environmental, because they had never done it before here.
You didn't. Okay.
No, so I had never asked them to do that before.
Okay.
So you don't get a little tickle from those people because they're not in the system.
Correct. So this would have been the first year that I would be requesting them to do that, because I'm under the impression that all commissioners, any commission board needs to.
And I think if our recreation commission is required to do it, and environmental would be required to do it.
Correct.
John,
you
brought something up to our attention that we're not aware of. We need to look into it.
And John, keep in mind, nobody from the council is pushing that this be done. We just want to have you guys be compliant.
Oh yeah, no, I agree 100%. That's why I said I had no problem doing it. I did receive a request. So this is the first time I'm hearing from the financial disclosure statement. So that's why I said I went and looked on the website during lunch and saw that we're not required to do it.
As far as the number of members, I still believe, and I think the committee talked about this, that the 5 and the 2 as commissioners is sufficient. And if you wish to have other people on, you're more than welcome to have them on in another
So
role.
you said that in our discussion, but we've been asking for the ability to have volunteers help us with trail maintenance, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And this request has been in to the borough now for going on 2 years, because trails got ruled underneath environmental in 2002, or 2020. And ever since then, I mean, that was COVID time, so we really couldn't get volunteers at that time. But now we were trying to get people in, and it's just been, so I don't understand how we could actually have additional people that weren't members, and why they would want to be on the environmental commission if they don't have the ability to vote, and they're not true members. I don't know.
I'm not sure if the two is gonna really make that big a difference, really. And furthermore, we do need to discuss offline with the new chairman of environmental, the ability for people to work on our trails. That has to be, there have to be waivers in place for that. That's a whole nother story, but it's not like you can have 10 commissioners.
So why the reduction? I don't understand why you would, I mean, you could effectively not appoint additional people. So why are you, why are you reducing?
The borough wouldn't be appointing the additional people, the chairman of environmental.
No. I mean, if you reduce environmental commission from 5 to 7 plus 2, which it's been historically, to 5 plus 2, I mean, the mayor, since the mayor does the appointments, could effectively do that by just appointing 5 people plus 2, and leave it at that. But currently, there are, if you count myself, there are 6 members, and there's 2 in the queue that are under consideration, so that's 8. So you're going to tell one of those potential volunteers that they're not going to be members, they can hang out in our meetings, but they're not going to be a true environmental.
No, we would tell them that very simply there are, the statute allows for 7 appointments, and we'd love to have you be part of it, and the environmental commissioner will appoint you to a role, another role within the environmental commission. Not only one person, but 5 people, if they're interested.
I don't understand the difference, but okay. I'll bring this up to
Nancy would be helpful, yeah. While John's actually going back to his seat, I'd ask the council to thank John for his years of service, and he's not the other on environmental. So,
Thank you, John.
thank you, John. Anyone else wish to speak?
Good evening, Mayor, good evening, Council. I'm Andrew Hood, 303 Main Street. I've been on the Environmental Commission for 6-8 years. The one thing that is in the new ordinance that I am concerned about is that the Environmental Commissioner can only serve up to 3 years in a term. As we all know, John's been the Commissioner for many years. He understands the systems extremely well. And so we have continuity in what's going on. And I'm concerned by changing environmental commission every 3 years, we may lose that continuity and understanding how the systems work. As we all know, that the environmental laws in this state and this country are quite it's extreme, and they're very difficult to understand at the time. So that's one of my concerns anyway, is the limitation on commissions.
You may have, I understand what you're saying, but you may have misunderstood it. You can be an environmental commissioner indefinitely, as long as you wish to get re-up, as long as the mayor and council are willing to reappoint you.
Right.
What the 3-year limit that we're adding is chairman. So you can only be chairman for up to 3 years, and you'd have to go off a year if you wanted to do it again, and the mayor and council started back on.
So that still goes back to my original point about the continuity of understanding the systems.
It doesn't mean that that person could be a member of the environmental commission.
I understand.
Actually, not a member, a commissioner for the following year, but they have to turn over the chairmanship for at least a year, again, based on mayor and council.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
I think just to add to that, Andrew, you brought up a good point about the environmental knowledge, right? That's important to retain. I'm thinking of historic. I feel like it's almost a hardship for someone to be chair for more than 3 years, because it is a lot of work. So it's nice to have that rotate through and have the knowledge shared among the committee members. And again, not that the person has to lead the commission or the committee, but it rotates to another person. So I think we also discussed if no one wants that role, then there would be an exception. Is that correct? I mean, no, okay. But I think there is some value to rotating it through, just knowing from some other committees I've been on, if one person is in that role a long time, it's a lot of work, and sometimes it needs to be shared. But I do understand the environmental knowledge that you're speaking about.
We have another committee in town where the chair has been on for a long time. You know, I think it's time for some new ideas and some new blood to come in place.
I understand.
John Kaplan, yeah, just so you know, I don't have a problem with it.
And you won't have a problem with the budget being cut in half, right?
Okay. Anyone else? Seeing none, I'd like to motion and second to close the public hearing portion of this ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon.
Yes.
Councilman Cortello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel. Aye.
Okay. May I have a motion and second to adopt ordinance 1131-2023?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon.
Yes.
Councilman Cortello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel. Aye.
Okay, ordinance 1131-2023 is adopted and shall be published by title only in the Burtonville News in accordance with the law. Moving on to 1132-2023. This is an ordinance repealing Chapter 2, Section 2-45 of the Municipal Code of the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone entitled Historic Preservation Commission and creating Chapter 2, Section 2-51 establishing a Historic Preservation Commission. Motion second to open the public hearing for ordinance 1132-2023.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon.
Yes.
Councilman Cortello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel. Aye.
Okay. Anybody in the public wish to make a comment on this ordinance? Seeing none, my motion is second to close public hearing portion of this ordinance. So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon.
Yes.
Councilman Cortello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel. Aye.
Okay, and a motion is second to adopt ordinance 1132-2023.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon.
Yes.
Councilman Cortello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel. Aye.
Ordinance 1132-2023 is adopted and shall be excuse me, published by title only in the Burtonville News in accordance with the law. Moving on, 1133-2023. An ordinance repealing Chapter 2, Section 2-42 of the Municipal Code of the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone entitled Recreation Commission and creating Chapter 2, Section 2-50 establishing a Recreation Committee. Motion is second to open the public hearing for this ordinance, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon.
Yes.
Councilman Cortello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel. Aye.
Okay. Would anybody in the public wish to comment on this ordinance? Seeing none, a motion and second to close the public portion, excuse me. A motion and second to close the public hearing for this ordinance, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon.
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy. I'm sorry, Councilman Cortello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel. Aye.
Okay. A motion and second to adopt ordinance 1133-2023.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, when you're ready, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel.
Aye.
Okay. 1133-2023 ordinance is adopted and shall be published by title only in the Burnsville News in accordance with the law. Next ordinance, 1134-23, which is an ordinance amending Chapter 2, Section 2-47 of the Municipal Code of the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone to change the name of the Library Advisory Board to the Library Advisory Committee. A motion and second to open the public hearing for this ordinance, please.
So moved. Second.
John and Dara. Roll call, please. Nancy, when you're ready.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel.
Aye.
Okay, would anybody in the public wish to comment on this ordinance? Seeing none, a motion and second to close the public comment on this ordinance, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel.
Aye.
And a motion and second to adopt ordinance 1134-2023, please.
So moved.
Second.
When you're ready, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel.
Aye.
Okay, ordinance 1134-2023 is adopted and shall be published by title only in the Burnsville News in accordance with the law. One more, 1135-23, which is an ordinance appropriating certain monies held by the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone for the acquisition of a rescue fire truck for the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone Volunteer Fire Department. Actually, I'm going to pause. Before I'm going to take that back, I'd like to make a comment. And for the benefit of the council and for the benefit of those in the audience and for the benefit of the newspaper, which I see here as well as our new council members elect. Everyone just saw a number of ordinances go through refining the committees and commissions that we have in this town. This was an effort that was prompted by me. Earlier in the year, I had the mayor's punch list. And the mayor's punch list was a rationalization of our committees. Because if there's one comment I got as being the new mayor, is that we're not utilizing our volunteers very effectively. We have redundancies. We're not following the state statutes. Okay? And we follow the law here in Peapack and Gladstone. That's a given. So we finally got around to it around third quarter. Amy, John Sweeney, Councilwoman Amy Dietrich, Council President John Sweeney, and myself had a little subcommittee. And we worked with our attorney and with Nancy to rationalize and see what we could consolidate and make more efficient in the interest of making our volunteers feel valued and to make their time that they volunteer with the borough productive. And out of it came the bunch of ordinances you all just heard. Unfortunately, it's coming down to the wire this year in getting them read, but the intent was to get them read and discuss them such that we can make the appointments for next year consistent with these ordinances. Okay? It should never ever be said that this borough, this council, and this borough's administration does not appreciate the volunteerism that exists in this town. John Kapler, as an example, being one, okay, and a big one, okay? This town runs on volunteerism. Don't only look at our committees and commissions, look at our fire department, look at our first aid squad, look at our OEM, look at our CERT team, okay? This town could not survive if we didn't have volunteers helping us out here. And I need to be very clear in saying that we are extremely grateful for it. We may, in our busy lives, all of us running our own lives and our own jobs, we may not always remember to say thank you, but I'm saying thank you, and know that we always appreciate that. Moving on. Now I'll read it again. Ordinance 1135-23 appropriating certain monies held by the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone for the acquisition of a rescue fire truck for the Borough Volunteer Fire Department. A motion and second to open a public hearing for ordinance 1135-2023.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich,
Yes.
Councilman Lemon,
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel.
Aye.
Okay. Would anybody like them from the public, excuse me, would anybody from the public like to make a comment on this ordinance? Seeing none, a motion and second to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich,
Yes.
Councilman Lemon,
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel.
Aye.
And now a motion and second to adopt ordinance 1135-2023.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich,
Yes.
Councilman Lemon,
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel.
Aye.
Okay, ordinance 1135-2023 is adopted and shall be published by title only in the Burnsville News in accordance with the law. I would like to take a moment and explain this ordinance, which was, honestly, we made a mistake in 2022 and forgot to do something. After we approved the 2022 budget, we were supposed to do an ordinance for the remaining chunk of money necessary to pay for our soon-to-arrive new rescue fire truck. And we honestly forgot to do that ordinance, that capital ordinance last summer. And we only realized it this year when they sent us a bill for the truck, and Nancy realized, oh, we didn't allocate enough money. So what this ordinance essentially does is it allocates, even though we funded the capital improvement fund to pay for this, we never passed the ordinance to allow the payment. So what this does is it essentially allows us to pay the last $75,000 cost of this new vehicle that's arriving sometime in January. Because I am losing my voice, I am going to ask the council to look at resolutions 2019-2023 and through 221-23 to see if there's any you'd like to pull, otherwise we'll do a consent agenda.
Consent.
For everybody? Yeah. Okay. May I have a motion second to approve 219-23 to 221-23?
Second.
Okay, Nancy, roll call. Please.
Councilwoman Dietrich,
Yes.
Councilman Lemon.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Nancy. Moving on to resolution 222-23, which is approval of bills assigned and listed on the payment list. Does any council member have any item on the bill pay list they'd like to see pulled? Seeing none, Nancy, would you read the total amount of bills to be paid?
$733,862.91.
May I have a motion and second to approve 222-23 payment of bills?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call for vote, please.
Councilwoman Dietrich,
Yes.
Councilman Lemon,
Yes.
Councilman Portello. Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel.
Aye.
Okay, those are to be paid. Let's move on to council reports. And in doing these, just asking if anybody has, rather than reading from the list. Does anybody have a council report they'd like to make that has not already been covered?
I have two, Mayor. With respect to the fire department, these things sort of go hand in hand. There was a fire at Nowhere, that was reported in the paper, and the fire department did a very effective job responding very quickly, getting that fire out before it did significant damage, so kudos to that. The second item related to that is the fire engine truck that we were talking about tonight. We're starting the process to get a new truck. It will take several years to build, and we're well on our way to have that done. And to your point about the rescue truck, the fire department members flew down to Louisiana where it was being made. They were very impressed with what they saw. It's now being taken to Ohio for some last tweaking and attachment of some of the gear, and it should be delivered very, very shortly. So good news there.
Right in the January.
Yes. Last thing to mention under police is selections going on now to replace Officer Murphy. So I will assume that interviews will be happening shortly. Kelly, I'm sorry, Kelly.
We all sound alike.
And we're hopeful we'll find a strong candidate.
Chief has some candidates?
I haven't spoken with the chief directly because he's been out sick, but I understand there's at least one candidate in the hopper, and they also look at the graduating class of the police academy up in Morris County. I don't think they have anyone there, but it's open until it's filled.
Thank you, Don. Thank you for your last report, Don.
You're very welcome.
Okay, any other council member? I have a few things. I wanted to let you all know that the borough indirectly received for its school board 2 grants from the county. One is for the Governor's Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse, and the funding is a total award of $15,435. Okay, nice thing. And then we had another one, which you have to just give me a second because it's in my notes. Oh, here it is, I'm sorry. We had a grant from the county as well to the school board, and they write these to the mayors, by the way. This is for $12,000 as an annual grant, of which $6,000 goes to an educational program for at-risk girls in the 3rd through 6th grades, Youth Summit for the 8th graders, ELL homework support at the high school for $2,000, and an after-school homework club at the middle school for $25.
Mark, what is ELL or is it ESL?
ELL homework support.
I don't know what that
I think it's probably ESL.
Yeah, right.
What was the first one you read? Or
I just closed it.
Oh, sorry,
At-risk
Mark.
girls.
Give me a second.
At risk.
Oh, at risk.
Let me read the whole thing, I abbreviated it. It's called Be Well Girls. Be Well is an educational program for at-risk girls in the 3rd through 6th grade. It provides experiential learning opportunities with training for a 5K race walk through a curriculum designed to promote good choices, self-respect, and healthy living. The program addresses the common drop in self-esteem experienced by young adolescent girls, thereby helping them to resist alcohol and substance abuse. The program is run by an adult facilitator at Bedwell and Bedminster Township Public Schools in this county. $75.
Thank you for the clarification.
And the last thing I wanted to update everybody on is I signed a mayor's petition to the governor to support reform of Open Public Records Act, statutes, which is a big burden for our borough. You all may not know it, but you see it on the clerk's report, how many open requests we get every month, and they're onerous and they take a lot of time to fulfill. Many of them are like corporations fishing for information, and what this looks to do is pare that down some by making it a little more difficult for somebody looking to buy a window company, they're not. You know the examples better than I. A window company looking to find new homeowners who moved into town so they can go solicit. You know, those kind of things. And I'm not defending those. I'm sure Nancy has better ones.
We get them every day.
You got them every day, right? Okay. Nancy, do you have anything?
Just that the deputy clerk, Susie, passed her RMC test that she took back in October. She was notified of that last week, so congratulations to her.
What is RMC?
It's the Registered Municipal Clerks, and it is a very difficult test. There's 6 classes that they take to go through. They have to pass each class, and then they have to pass a test of 300 questions, and they have to get an 80 or above in order to receive the certification.
Kudos to Susie.
Yes, so.
So let's move. I'm sorry, anything else? You have nothing from John Bruder, do you? Mayor's executive summary, just real quick, Nancy, you're going to move that one discussion from executive to the January 16th meeting that we did.
January 23rd meeting.
Sorry, January 23rd, meeting for, because Jamie's not here.
Yes.
Okay, Don, you're going to reach out to the police on the analysis regarding that service, and that's the only two items I have. I typically take the mayor's executive summary to thank one group in our town. There is a group I previously thanked this year, but I have to thank them again because Council President Sweeney advised me that this year was the highest number of calls that the fire department has done, our volunteer fire department has done to date, and they were substantially higher than last year. So a big shout out to those guys. The chief and the department were running all over the place during the heavy storm on Monday, pumping out basements. A tree fell through a roof somewhere on Main Street, and then a few other issues they had to handle. So our shout out tonight is again to our volunteers at the fire. Lastly, and we'll be mentioning this in more detail at our reorg meeting. Tonight is the last night of our valued members, Councilwoman Amy Dietrich and Councilman Don Lama. I won't get emotional with you tonight, but I'm going to miss you very, very much. Thank you so much for your service.
It's my pleasure.
Proud and honored to work with you.
You'll all be missed.
We won't, wait, what did you say? We won't be missed?
I said you'll all be missed.
Oh, we'll all be missed. Okay.
Can we play back the recording on that?
Yeah. Moving on. Public comments on agenda items. Anybody like to come up and speak on an agenda item tonight? Seeing none, I will close that. Is there any further business that any council member wishes to discuss?
I just want to say one thing. In addition to the pleasure of working with you guys, only because I know Jake is going to be at the January 2nd meeting, I really want to recognize the Burnsville News and Jake Perry for his incredible dedication. Your reporting is always honest and balanced, and you put in more time than any of us and get paid less than all of us. So thank you. It is appreciated for everything that you and the paper does. It's a dying art, and it's nice to see that we have somebody who's dedicated this work. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
See, I'm not trolling for votes because I'm not running, so.
It's always next year.
Motion is second to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
We can go exec,
Oh, that's right, we do.
We can't.
Oh, wait,
so I don't adjourn.
We don't adjourn.
We
oh,
go,
I take that back.
I move that we go to executive session.
Okay. Well, before we go to executive session, to those in the audience, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy New Year. And our next meeting is reorg on January 2nd, which we'd like to invite you to. We will have some ceremonial things being done there, where 2 existing council members step down and our 2 council members elect come up and take their places. We'll have a couple proclamations, and then we'll have a little reception afterwards. So good holidays to everyone.
Thanks.
Is on us. So we have to go do a motion. We have to do a motion now.
Yeah.
We're going to-
Yes. So, who's gonna,
I made a motion.
who's second?
Second.
Councilwoman Dietrich,
Yes.
Councilman Lama,
Yes.
Councilman Porcello,
Okay, I'll wait.
Council President Sweeney,
Aye.
Councilwoman Wyble. Aye.